right. Hello. We're live. Hi. I'm super excited to be here. I just need to take an out breath, a collective out breath with everyone here watching live, tuning in energetically. I really feel connected to this space communally today and collectively, and just taking a moment to ground in before I get started with whatever wants to come through. So, if you don't know me, if you are new, if you are returning, welcome. My name is Kelsey. This is Igniting Insight. I am live streaming here on my business page and on Facebook and on Instagram. My phone situation over here on Instagram is going to be tilting because it's charging and it's not on a tripod, and so forgive that. And let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're tuning in, this is going to be posted to YouTube. This is going to be put out there wherever I can. If it will end up on my personal page as well, so please let me know if you tune in. I would love to see who's watching, who's getting this information that is really wanting to come through me right now. So a little bit about me is I basically am an intuitive energy reader. I use astrology and I use tarot, and I essentially break down what's going on collectively, and give you that information, and I try to break it down in ways that are really digestible and understandable. And I'm also an ascension coach, so I help people who are spiritually awakening get grounded into their soul's embodiment here, and um, do the inner healing work, the shadow work that's needed to get through to a place where we're really living from our purpose and potential. So today is the Sagittarius full moon. It's actually we're coming out of its exactness, which means that at 12:12 p.m. Pacific time, it was exact. So it's later in the day now, which means that the moon is separating from being opposite of the sun, and these energies are, more or less starting to subside, but really full moons and new moons, that energy is lasting about one day before and one day after, so it's about 3 days. And just what's been happening for me, looking at the collective, what's going on, especially here in the US, is obviously, we've had this coronavirus outbreak, pandemic. We've had this new reality of social distancing coming in, and a lot of fear coming in. And we've also had this massive uprising and showing up for justice in the wake of the death of George Floyd and many other Black people in our communities. I think George Floyd was really a catalyst for people waking up to what's going on, because there was a video evidence of what had happened. But essentially, uh, these two main events, here's what I want to say. First of all, we can see this in the astrology. We can see that this would be happening. It makes sense. We are going through a huge portal, gateway, and awakening. And I want to be able to break that down for you in a way that is understandable again. So if there's anything I say in this video, if you're resonating with this message, but there's anything that doesn't make sense or is unclear, please let me know. I would be happy to answer any questions or clarify anything, because I really feel passionate about helping you understand if that's something that your soul is calling you into. So it's an energy that is this is a long-term thing. Those of us that have been on a spiritual journey for a while might have a different level of awareness about what's going on, both within society and energetically, collectively, spiritually, than other people, but the truth is we're all waking up to greater levels of awareness. And today I wanted to share kind of just my experience today. Like I've been doing this work for a while. I've been trying to share for a while, and here's the thing: is like we're ready when we're ready. We're ready to speak our truth when we're ready. We're ready to learn and see when we're ready. And it gets to be on our own timelines. There's no pressure to push other people towards this. In short, that's the reason that we have faith is that we can trust that positive outcomes will come about without having to force people. But essentially today I just got downloaded with so much information, so much was channeling through me, and this has been happening for a couple of weeks now. Like the energy's been picking up for me, but today was like the day that I really heard, like, you know, it's time to speak, it's time to go, it's time to start. And I really feel like this fearlessness about sharing what it is that I feel guided and called to share, and just really being dedicated to like putting it out there as much as I can, you know, and just trusting that it's going to reach who it's going to reach, and that these platforms will grow as this information is received and needed. So please engage with this content. Please share this. I really hope that, you know, there'll be something here, whether it's this video or future videos, posts, whatever it is. Like, this is meant to be shared and spread. And it's also perfectly okay to be exactly where you are. I want to say this again. It's like what I've been seeing collectively is this energy of there's like these two camps of people, right? There's the camp of people that is aware of the oneness that we share, our collective humanity, and is speaking from a place of empowerment and calling people into themselves. And there's other people that are still operating out of fear and separation and looking to blame, looking to point a finger, looking to separate and divide. And this is usually an unconscious thing. But I really want us all to empower ourselves to bring awareness to where we're at and what's the energy that we're putting out there. And one really clear way to do this is anytime you take an action or even notice a thought, just ask yourself, what is the intention of this? What is my intention with this? And does it feel contractive or expansive? What does it feel like in your body to engage with this thought or behavior? And does it feel in your body like it's contracting or expanding? And that's a really good indicator of whether it's in alignment or not. So, and I apologize that if this is at all scattered today. I've just been really going long and going hard today, so bear with me. But what I was downloading today is this new Crystaline grid and heart light activation. So what I was seeing in my mind's eye was this, you know, these star seeds and light workers getting a new heart activation, and it was this green energy, right, of our heart chakra. And then it was actually like going out and making connection points to every other awakened light worker and starseed and way shower that was getting this heart light activation and creating this green crystalline web of influence all over the planet. And the importance of this web is it's not really creating because it's always been here, but it's like we're tuning into it. We're like tuning forks. We're tuning into this new awareness, this new frequency, this new vibration. It's new to us because we haven't tuned into it before, but it's always been here, right? The masses, more people are tuning into it. And allowing that heart light to channel out of them so that it can activate and awaken the people around them. So, what's been happening for me lately is getting this information, getting this heart activation, um, seeing the connectivity, and then really going back to my roots of my own spiritual awakening, which was really about awakening to the matrix, right? Which is heavy and uncomfortable, and I believe it's something that we all go through. It's kind of this dark night of the soul. There is so much that's wanting to come through me right now that I know that it's going to take some time for me to unpack, unravel, slow down, take pieces and go deeper on those pieces. But the purpose today is just to really like let it start flowing so that, really like I can be seen, show up as this way shower, and be more authentic. So what I'm noticing, and this is going to be a long live stream, I can already tell you. What I'm noticing right now is this fear, and I feel it in my chest and in my stomach, and it's this fear of really showing up and being completely authentic with my gifts, with what I'm receiving. I'm feeling my throat chakra start to close up. I'm feeling myself start to shut down a little bit. So please hold space for me here. I channel this consciousness. I channel God source code. I use light language. I channel light language, and I decode the messages from the light language. And it terrifies me sometimes to share that specific part. But that's really what's wanting to start to come through. So this is a practice for me. So if that comes through, just know that that's what it is. It's just light language. It's coding for you. You can receive it. You can say yes to receiving the code, and I will try to decode it into English and let you know what messages are coming through. But so going into this actual the lunar energy right now. So the moon's in Sagittarius and the sun is in Gemini. These signs are all about information, communication, learning, higher learning, expansion, spirituality. Obviously some of those traits belong more to Gemini, some belong more to Sagittarius. They're both mutable signs, and we actually have a T-square here with Mars and even a little bit here with Neptune in Pisces. A T-square is basically a collection of hard aspects between planets where their energies are not getting along, and it's all mutable energy. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed, scattered, unfocused, unclear, like that makes a lot of sense because we have this mutable energy. It's moving, it's shifting, it's not solid and grounded in one place. It's like it's mutable, right? It's like moldable, and it's flexible, and so we don't have a lot to hold onto and grasp onto. We do have Saturn in Aquarius at 1 degree going retrograde right now, as well as Pluto in Capricorn. These two planets are the main reason that we're experiencing the kind of collective chaos that we're experiencing. Pluto in Capricorn showing all of the shadows to our systems of power, our government, our authority, and Saturn in Aquarius, Saturn being the ruling planet of Capricorn, it's like the actual physical nature of our government is undergoing these radical shifts of Aquarius. Aquarius is about like radical change. It's the revolutionary, and so now Saturn is retrograde, so it's like that's why these issues seem to be like coming up from the past, and it's not anything new. It's retrograde. It's looking at what's already been here and kind of decoding and decolonizing what's already been here for so long. So just the message that wanted to come through with the mutable energy and the awareness of that is essentially just like, again, it's okay to be where you're at. The message is learn and let go. So there's a lot coming through for this, and it's like we it's it's this inner system, like our navigating our inner system is the most important work that we can do. Learning to navigate our inner system is the most important work that we can do. And it's important to increase our awareness and to expand our consciousness to see the reality of the way things are. So I'm not going to go super deep into it, but essentially, you know, or maybe you don't know, that we have these systems of oppression put in place as control measures to keep people imprisoned by the matrix, essentially. And the thing is, we don't need to know everything in order to begin to usher in a new era and to shift away from this old matrix way of being, this old imprisoned way of being. One thing that tends to happen, at least speaking from my own experience of spiritual awakening, is realizing the matrix that we're in and seeing the control that's out there and the corruption that exists, that's so deeply embedded in our society, and also our own consciousness and even our own DNA. It feels so scary, and you just want to understand and know and like get to the answer. Like that was the energy that I had 8 years ago when I started learning about this. It's like I want to know who's to blame so that I can make all the right choices, so that I can totally disengage from the system. Like that was the energy of like disengaging from the system. But there's actually a way easier way for us to do this, and that is through letting go of the need to know everything and trusting that our intention is powerful. And if we align our intention with the highest good of all people and with God's source's will and wishes for humanity, which is always about love, then we actually will be able to usher in the new era, the new earth, a harmonious way of being and living on this planet. We'll be able to relieve the separation and suffering that's so prevalent, and we don't need to know everything about what's wrong. We need to have some level of awareness. So this is where I want you to ask questions. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about the matrix, if you don't know what I'm talking about, with the way things are all corrupt and it's all been systematized to keep us oppressed, let me know what your questions are so that I can go deeper on those topics. It's something that I'm going to do either way, but I want to know where to focus now so that it's going to be of most use for you. So we don't need to know everything. So we get to let go of this fear around, if I don't know what it is, if I can't name it, then I can't fix it. Here's the thing, when we focus on the problem, we take our attention away from the solution, and we actually end up perpetuating the problem. Okay, I want this to be heard. When we focus on the problem, we shift our focus and attention away from the solution, and we actually energetically perpetuate the problem. Okay? Starting to pour outside, so if you can hear that, that's what that is. So exhale on that. Okay, so how do we focus on the solution when everything feels so heavy? That is the work, right? That is the work. That is the inner work. It's inner work. It's a journey. It starts with your willingness to go within, to go deep, to see inside, decolonize yourself, right? See what's in here that you can shift out of. What's not serving you here? What's not true here? What is holding you back here? What's limiting you? What limiting beliefs do you have? What self-sabotaging behaviors do you have? I mean, I will I will be speaking into more specifically like my journey around breaking those internalized forms of slavery around substance use, around codependency in relationships. Like, there's so many ways that this can show up. But anything that doesn't allow you to feel expanded, heart-centered, and sovereign is something that can be dismantled within you. When we dismantle the things within us that no longer serve us, we open up our channel. First we come into alignment with our soul, right? With our soul, what our souls want, what our truth is, our inner truth, which is always comes from God, from source, right? Our inner truth is directly connected to the divine, and we can, when we decolonize, when we claim our sovereignty, we then can channel out the truth that is within us and actually be the catalyst for change, for the change that we believe is possible, that we know is possible, that we want to see in the world. So it doesn't come from focusing on the problem. It doesn't come from knowing who the Rockefellers is and knowing what happened in Egyptian times and knowing if Atlantis was real. Like, you can know those things most likely if you do this work for long enough and channel in the divine energy. You'll be able to discern what's true, what matters to you, and what doesn't matter to you for your specific purpose and mission. So some of us might need to know that. Some of us might need to share that awareness, but many of us don't. So right now, going back again to the astrology, not only is Pluto in Capricorn renovating our governmental systems, this is also the USA's Pluto return. So meaning Pluto's in the same place that it was when this country was founded. We know that this country was founded on oppression and subjugation and manipulation and there's another word that's not coming to me, but basically very toxic energies. And so that's why now that it's the return of it, all of that is coming up to the surface to be seen again. And it's giving us this opportunity to focus on our true values, focus on restructuring these systems, finding unity, and claiming our sovereignty. So I'm just looking at my notes, and I feel like I've pretty much gone over what I wanted to share today, but it's about freeing ourselves from the matrix by expanding our conscious awareness. So it's all about expansion. It's about tuning into what feels good and expanding outwards, not contracting, not focusing on the problem, not focusing on fear, but actually expanding outwards. So I guess the final thing I want to share today is, there's a lot of terms to talk about these systems of oppression. One term is the patriarchy, which is all about, individuation, focusing on me and not on the collective, and that obviously hasn't gotten us very far. We're not in a great place in humanity and society, and we need to shift out of that. But something I heard today, actually, let me tell you who says it. It was quoted to me by Dr. Jean Shinoda Bolin. Says the opposite of patriarchy is not matriarchy, it's circle. So this is in my circle training course, my circle training program that I'm in. That's so powerful because what is circle? It's about being equal. It's about connection. It's about holding each other in the same sacred space that we ourselves are held within. And, really, being equanimous with each other, not having anybody above anybody else. So if that's something that you're interested in, if that's something that you believe in and you're wanting to help decolonize yourself and build into this new paradigm of really it's oneness, right? If we think about everybody as a big circle, that is the oneness that we seek. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I have a circle gathering coming up on June 20th around the summer solstice. I would love for you to join. We are going to be setting up it to be donations for supporting Black communities and justice for Black lives. So I will have more information about that coming up, but just send me a message or leave a comment that says circle if you want to be a part of that. This is really a great way to start shifting ourselves and changing the world. So thank you so much for spending your time with me. Tell me, let me know if you catch the replay. I would love to know who has tuned in. And always let me know if there's anything that you need clarity on or any information that you're missing. My goal is really to be present more, be more spontaneous when things are being channeled through, and just share that, all in the effort of really, really being a way shower and helping this new earth come through. So I appreciate your time and energy again, and I will see you very soon, and I will definitely see you on the new moon. So thank you again. Namaste.